big up, big up, big up, and welcome to Liberal 12 Man Show once again. Big up, Abdul. Big up to those that are joining us as we begin, or big up if you are joining us on the replay of this. But we look like we are going to be 9 points currently atop the league, still with a game in hand. It was not easy settings, but we're going to talk about the game, get a little bit of our get a little bit of your reaction for the game. We move on to our semifinal cup. I think he could have went the left foot on that one, by the way, still. But final cup, League Cup matchup, and we also have our FA Cup matchup after that, and then it's back to the league. And again. Hello again, Bernie. It is our Egyptian king that is the goal scorer for us today. We will see. Yeah, P-Tech Pep versus Pep on Sunday to be a draw. That'd be nice. That would be nice. And what would also be nice is to see us retain Mohamed Salah, and another record he could possibly ascertain is getting, if we were to keep Salah for another 2 years, and he gets 20 goals in those 2 years that he stays with us, it would be him and Shearer atop the list for most consecutive 20-plus goal seasons, as he is, I think, third on the list now, third or fourth on the list, something like that. So, good result. Yes, let's get Mo's contract signed, please. Is correct, Bernie. I'm with you on that. And hopefully you're with us today for a little match reaction. I got Brian, we've got Nalante, and we might have some others joining us. But for right now, let's get into this. Big up Reelsman Jarrett. Big up the Hash. Big up Bonkers. Yeah, there were some sub. I would say mediocre. I wouldn't say that that there was anyone that was like really poor today, but I would say maybe there's like some mediocre, like average performances today from some of our players. Maybe it also could be maybe attributed to the fact that Bournemouth is a good team and it's not an easy place to play. And we went in and did what we had to do, which is get a result. So what were some of your thoughts on today's matchup, Brian? And welcome, by the way, too.
Thank you. Pretty much along the lines of what was expected in terms of their performance. Tough game. They created a lot of chances, and we had to be rock solid and work really hard. Just go there, battle them for 90 minutes, and yeah. But I mean, the chap on, I think it was Robbie Musto, was saying it was an imperious performance. I don't think it was anything like that at all. I think it was a real scrap for a while there, a real scrap. But we came out, we prevailed. Good to, penalty was obviously a help. Look, you can see why they're doing so well. And Bournemouth, I mean, you can see why they are where they are. That's just it's a really difficult side to play against. I thought we did okay. Like have some average performances. Like that's the thing. Like sometimes we football fans, not just Liverpool fans, they forget like that there's another team on the pitch. And sometimes the reason your guys didn't look as good as they normally do is because they're up against a better team. They're up against a team that's working hard, that's stopping them doing what they want to do. You stop, sometimes you have to give some credit to the other team as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't amazing. We gave them some chances. I don't know. I'd like to watch it again because it was it's a game I'd like to watch again. because it was one of those games when you're 0-0 and 1-0, you're just kind of concentrating more on getting that goal
Yeah,
as
that
opposed
second goal. Yeah, to kind of breathe easy a little bit.
yeah, I'd just like to watch it again as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Big up Realism Jared. Big up Abdul again. Big up Bonkers. Big up Bernie. Hash. I think that's all that have chimed in so far. But let's see what you guys are saying. Abdul is saying average performance by McAllister, Trent, Diaz, Dom, Cody, Jones, Nunez, Endo. Okay. If it wasn't for the post bar, it would have been different. Yeah, it would have been. But I mean, like, the post is there for a reason, you know? So you gotta get it on you gotta get it on the other side of it, or you don't get credit. The second goal was a big goal for Mo. I agree, Bernie. The second goal was very big to get. Very, very big. Haven't seen him do that for a while. I don't know what they're talking about. But what did Bernie say earlier that he hasn't done? Do not know. But yeah,
no,
this game.
not sure what he's talking about.
Yeah, never mind. um, the baby pictures that they show on this side are funny. Little babies all decked out in their Liverpool kits and the likes. But yes, I would say I'm about to pull up some stats on this because I know you're saying some things about the game. I saw people were saying average performances by a lot. The league saw the rest of the league did see some interesting game results as well. By the way, obviously we already knew about the Forest matchup, but I mean Southampton, Fulham picking up wins today. Everton playing well today.
Has to be
And
the end for Van Nistelrooy.
you think already?
Well, if I was a Leicester fan, I'd be like 8 games
Right.
out of 9 lost. That's pretty poor.
But to be making another change already,
Hey,
you
look,
gotta
if you
give the
make
guy.
the wrong one, you got to. Yeah, I don't know. Look, hey, if we brought in a manager and he lost 8 out of 9,
Mm,
yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well if he clings on. If they're just saying, look, we'll go to the championship together.
mm,
But yeah, like as Ant is often says, it really down there. It depends. Like if the fans are backing him, he'll be all right.
mm,
And he does seem to somehow still have some kind of goodwill. Mainly probably because he's not Steve Cooper. I think the fact that he's not Steve Cooper is probably the main positive, but it's surely the shine has got to wear off eventually if you're just getting tonked every week. Going to Everton, you're 3-0 down at half time.
it's
But
tough.
yeah, some interest. Yeah, Southampton getting a result. Very big shock to the system for Ipswich. I'd say they were banking on that as a 3 points. I'd say,
Yeah,
that's one of the
yeah,
few
yeah.
games
I
where
agree with
you
that.
think, yeah, it's
I
us at
agree with
home
that.
against, but we should be winning that. Most other games, we would probably say, let's see what we can do.
I would have given it to Ipswich simply because they're at home. That's a disappointing game to lose to lose to Southampton at home. That shows that maybe this level of competition is not meant for you.
The Fulham
Um,
one is the most surprising, though, isn't it? They were 1-0 down away at Newcastle and they come, but that has got to be, like you said
I
it.
don't know.
That's what we
I
call
don't
over
know if
here a coupon buster, as
yeah, I
in
don't know.
everybody, like if you're trying to put together eight wins, you'll pick,
Mhm.
yeah, Newcastle at home against Fulham. That's a kind of a win you don't think a lot about, and then they come along and like they say over here, that's a coupon buster.
Mhm. No,
1-0 down,
I
come
said
back.
when that game, when we were going through the games and the likes of them all, I was like, I understood a lot of what you guys were saying about Newcastle, but I just said to myself, you know what? Fulham is on again. They're like a light switch. They're on, they're off. They're on, they're off. You know, so a game like that, a game that Newcastle should like walk through. It's just that maybe they just weren't focused on it, and they just like and
I
they
don't remember doing a prediction myself. I don't remember doing a prediction myself on it. I don't think I did one, but I would have said, obviously, just a quick one, Newcastle at home. But to be 1-0 up, I mean, I was just saying from the
Mhm.
point of view for Newcastle to be 1-0 up and then get bet 2-1, that is a bit of a shocker for them.
Your prediction was Newcastle in that game. It was everyone picked Newcastle except for Dara picked a draw in that game.
Yeah, I don't remember just doing quick ones, obviously. Yeah, I don't really remember. But yeah, no, I just for them, it's a bit like they're still fifth. It's not going to do a lot for Fulham. But to me, it's still the biggest. Even the Forest one, that's a bit of a freak of a result if you look at what happened there.
Yeah, absolutely,
But
absolutely.
you could see you could see it happening. But
I think Realism Jarrett and also Abdul's statement is like spot on too. We're gonna get into some of these reactions in a second for our game, obviously, but just reacting to some of the other match reactions. Everton are above Spurs after 23 games. Who would have called that? That's something of a surprise.
yeah, they'll be. He's already talking about needing money. Moyes, he's saying coming in, they're going, oh, I was really surprised to find out how restricted the club was. It's like, why would you say that in a press conference? Surely you would have known that. So he's talking about needing players.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
it isn't.
Um,
Yeah, Tottenham isn't. There's a story going around, and I think it's a troll of a story. I genuinely think it's a troll of a story, but that it's Matthias Tell didn't join Spurs because they wanted to insert a relegation clause, i.e., if they got relegated, he could probably like leave for 20 million or something. And Spurs were turning it down, obviously. But yeah,
oh,
I
so
think
so they're saying that Spurs turned
the
down the
Spurs was like,
offer.
no, Spurs is saying, no, we're not giving you a release clause if we get relegated. What are you even asking
Oh,
for,
and then
kind of thing.
that's what made him say,
Yeah,
okay,
but
well,
that's a story. I don't know if it's true, but I think it sounds like a story made up to laugh about Tottenham potentially getting relegated. But the
mhm.
story that's gone around is that his representatives wanted a clause in his contract that if Spurs did get relegated, they would have to let him leave for like a small enough fee, but enough to basically guarantee that someone else would come in and buy him because he ain't playing in the championship kind of thing.
Mhm.
So yeah, but that to me just sounds like a troll on Spurs, really. I think he just didn't want to join Spurs because they're Spurs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll tell you the truth, Dara didn't have that bad of a Dara's not doing too bad actually. Dara's had a couple of winners in this one. He had Forest winning. Or not Forest, oh no, he had Brighton winning actually.
Mm-hmm. I got mine right with Liverpool, so I'm
There
happy
you
with that
go.
one.
That's the only one that matters, really.
2-0. I said 2-0 as well,
Yeah.
so
Brian
nice.
had it right for the Forest game. He had Forest. Everyone else had draw in the Forest matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And Dara had Brighton winning.
Brighton were bad, man. Yo.
Yeah, yeah.
But what do you reckon of the game? What's your mood? 2-0?
Mm-hmm.
You can't,
Mm-hmm.
that's like sound, you know?
Mhm.
We would have taken a 1-0 even, you know. But I think the second goal was just Salah, old school, you know. That sort of giving the ball wide, comes in, kills it back post, job done, you know.
Yeah.
Even though Bournemouth were unlucky not to score a few goals, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Alisson, for me, best game since he's come back.
Yeah, Allison has some big saves
Big
actually.
saves. He did this one save when he hit Kanate, Gramovich, Kanate. It was going in.
Yeah.
Got his,
Yeah.
he got his, what a save.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his
Yeah.
best game so far. Good to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. And there's also like there's sometimes people are like, oh, I hit the post. I'm like, yeah, that's also someone trying to that's also sometimes the goalkeeper being able to cut off the angle enough that you have to try to make the adjustments. And yeah, definitely a wild affair. This makes this Ipswich, this Wolves game that much more important for Wolves to get some type of result. A point would at least tie them on points. It wouldn't tie them on goal differential, but it would tie them on points with Leicester, and it would make a real fight to for that relegation. Ipswich is at 16 points, Wolves at 16 points, Leicester at 17 points. But the sheer fact I don't think Spurs are going to be they're not going to be relegated, but the sheer fact that they are sitting in 16th place, wow, that is just wild. Absolutely wild. There's a lot of people that were, all about the kangaroo, and they are not about that life right now. They are not about that life right now. But our game again, what was your feel good moment of this game? I mean, if you could think of one, really, probably a tough one to probably come up with because like
I would say
it really
Alisson's
wasn't.
save was one when he hit Kanate and Gramovich. That save there was a special sort of moment. And Salah's goal, second one. I think that was just Salah back in the day, Salah. And that save by Alisson was an old school Alisson save. So we went back to the future today.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Rose and Jared. My I guess my feel good moment of the day was seeing Robbo. Like there was one time when they were about to be in and Robbo came charging back and gave a nice slide tackle, won the ball. We ended up changing direction real quick, and we went on the attack right off his challenge. I guess that was kind of like my feel good moment in the sense of since he's a player that's been very much maligned with like a lot of criticism, and he's done and his legs are gone and blah 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 blah, all of which there could be an argument for, but it was good to see. It was good to see him out there still, giving his all, giving the full effort. Nothing less of what we expect from Robert. And yeah, had a couple of different decent crosses as well. But
don't ever send Robbo a Christmas card.
Send him a Christmas card. Why would we say that?
No, I'm just like it's like, hey man, I know everyone's been calling you a dickhead and everyone thinks you're shit, but I like you. We've been backing like there's a ton of people out there that have been backing this guy, man. Sometimes we focus too much on the negative. I feel like this. Yeah, I mean, I just think sometimes
you're honestly going to tell me that there's a lot of people out there. Almost every that are like
that support Robbo, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think there's probably just as many people out there to support Robbo that go online and say nasty things about him. At least, yeah, definitely. I just think the people that do come out and say like talk shit about people, they get they're more likely to go out and seek a platform to say it. People that just have positive thoughts about it don't really kind of, I just think the average Liverpool fan out there, maybe not YouTubers, But I just think the average Liverpool fan out there has got nothing but respect for the guy. And
I'm
thinks
not.
he's doing
Yeah. I would
You know,
say.
no, my feel good moment.
Yeah.
Just I don't want to go down, but my feel good moment, and it's always when these guys, if we see them, anytime you see David Brooks on a football pitch, is a feel good moment for me, because that kid not that long ago, not only did he know if he's going to play football again, he didn't know if he was going to be around very long. He had proper cancer, and Bournemouth stood by him. People didn't know, hey, he might come back. He might be cool and all that, but hey, football maybe not. But he's back now and he's playing. So to me, anytime I see David Brooks on a pitch, just a genuine feel good moment.
There you go. That's a good move. That's a good moment.
Nice win. Yeah. He even scored. Yeah.
Yeah, great little player as well. But just shows, never give up.
That's it.
Never give up.
Yeah. Also, see something else real quick. The foul for you in the box, definitely a foul on Cody for the penalty.
Yeah, because Yota got a yellow card, got sent off because of the same sort of foul against Tottenham. So, but for me, this was what it was. He didn't do it on purpose. His leg ran into his leg, and what happens is it doesn't matter if he meant it or not. It's actually done.
Right.
So it was a penalty straight away. Good little run by Gakpo, but I think the referee today is like they were singing "Who's the Scouser in the blue?" I was saying an Everton fan. They were singing it all throughout the game. Who's the Scouser in the blue? The Bournemouth fans, like the referee was sort of on our side a lot today, and it was nice to see. I didn't worry about the refs going to pull out a dodgy decision or anything like that, and it was good to see where we were getting majority of the decisions our way.
Agreed. I agree with this Realism Jarrett statement here. He just came on and gave Bournemouth the same treatment they gave us all game. Good for him. Yeah. I'm glad to see he didn't go out and just throw a shoulder into someone like he did in the Manchester United game when he went out and did what they were doing to us in that game. But
see today the subs all came on and all got straight into the game, caught up like speed wise. Jones, Nunes, and Bradley all came on and got on with it, and that was good to see today. None of them were sort of like a little bit too slow to get into the game or whatever. Like normally Jones is the one takes a bit of time to get into a game, but today he was like bang straight on it. Even got an assist. So that's what you asked for him, Jones. Really.
Yeah.
If you're gonna come on a sub, get into the game as soon as possible. Don't ponder on the ball too much. And I think Darwin as well. He was like getting in tackles, running right in the left back position, getting a tackle in there. I like that about Darwin. A lot of people don't appreciate that, but at the end of the day, if he didn't do that, they had the ball, get the ball in the back of the net. So everything leads to that,
Yeah. That's what I'm talking. Those intangibles are important. They add up. Those little things. They certainly add up. Obviously, we all want to see goals. We want to see assists and goals and the beautiful play. But doing the little things, doing them right, and doing the little things can add up to amounting to something. I know that's why I don't agree. I saw like everything. Big up Pops, by the way. Big up Pops. Definitely. If you want to join the gang here, you're more than welcome, Pops. The door is always open, always unlocked for you. If I don't know if you do, give us a thumbs up, or Brian or myself can send you the link if you like. And Darwin did well today. We were fluid with him and on as well. I think it's good. Good to hear. Good to hear some people are coming around to that
Yeah. Even Endo, when he came on, he sort of did
I
what he
thought,
needed to do. As
yeah.
well. Yeah.
I know. I saw Abdul's statement earlier when he was pretty critical of the. There were some. They weren't all like incredible performances by like really any particular player today. Of course, obviously Salah ends up with the high with the not with the highlight with the headline. Leading the headline saying 2-0 with the brace, but it was obviously a well taken penalty kick. That I'll give him. A very well taken penalty. It was just straight power. I think he already knew where he was going with it. It's one of those cases where like he struck the ball so hard that Kepa could barely even make a dive. He couldn't even make a dive for it. He was already past him by the time he could like even figure out which way to go. And the goal though that he had was a well taken goal though. Well taken goal.
It was a brilliant goal.
Yeah.
That was a flashback, man, to the old days, Salah. That's the sort of goals he used to score quite a lot of. But he was looking for that most of the game. He wanted to do it, but they're really tight. The game was sort of tight certain times, like situations and stuff.
Trent went off with a little bit of a what looked like maybe a thigh injury. He was involved in the game, had a couple key passes and the likes. Defensively, he was decent, not exceptional, but he was decent defensively. Big up Hylor, by the way. Big up Hylor. Big up Marion. Yeah, I agree with you on that one too. I hope it's not. I know that the team does tell the players, hey, you feel anything, or if it just doesn't feel right, just go down and we'll get you off the pitch. So it could be just a case of, maybe he just felt a little twinge and decided not to push it. And on top of that, I personally was calling for Connor to be subbed in anyway in like the 60th minute, to be honest with you, because they were trying to give us a little bit of the business on our wings today. Definitely. Gomez is back. Realism, Jarrett. Gomez is back. Yes, he is. And Realism Jarrett saying this as well. This is something we spoke on earlier. We are going to need every player in our squad to contribute if we are to win not only the Premier League but the Champions League and anything else. Agreed. Certainly how it works. McAllister today, I thought, was a little bit getting frustrated maybe by the physical play. We all know that McAllister's not one to back down from people trying to bully him. There was a lot of pushing and hauling. I know primarily because I know one thing about like Tyler Adams, trying to think some of the players that were given the business. Cook, even Kirkaz, Christie, those players were all like being a little bit aggressive with the physicality in today's matchup.
That's interesting. I didn't see it as an overly physical game. That's interesting. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean
overly physical.
Yeah, there was like
much worse.
There was like bloody lips and bloody noses.
Well, 2 of those were Bournemouth players.
I know that, Brian.
But
but
no, I just
geez,
I didn't see it as
because
a rough game.
I'm saying they were giving it back, as in like it was they weren't going to get bullied off the pitch. They were trying. They could have easily just but there was a lot of the what was it, the one that got in McAllister, that got McAllister a little riled up, you know, by the shirt pulling and the you know, the little bit of aggressiveness. I think if I remember who it was, I think it was Christie that did that one. Do you remember that part in play? You remember that?
Look, yeah, no, there was stuff, but I'm just saying, like I've watched a million games, and that to me is like, wow, that was a tough one. That was a rough one. So it's a standard. Yeah, look, it's a physical. They're a strong team. We're a strong team. But it didn't stand out to me as a like a dirty game or a nasty game or they're trying to kick us off the pitch type
No, I
game.
didn't say a dirty game. I didn't even use that word once. I just said physical, as in they were definitely being physical. I thought they were trying to like. There's a lot of there's pushing. There was definitely a little bit of grabbing going on, and yeah, when you watch it back, you'll notice. I think maybe you'll notice it now that it's been mentioned. Maybe.
Well, no, but pushing and grabbing. I mean, just in terms of they're big, strong guys. Should we be bullied by pushing and grabbing? No,
Yeah,
should
we
he be?
should. Yeah,
We shouldn't be bullied by that. You know, Virgil, Evo, they shouldn't be getting bullied. They love a physical chat. Like Mac loves it. I
yeah.
like games like that. I'm sorry, I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it. I kind of like games where it's played to the edge, you know, and it shows people are engaged in it, you know. I'd rather see someone going in, not going in hard but fair than someone not bothered to track back or
Mhm.
I don't mind that. Sometimes we take too much of the edge out of it. But you gotta win that. It always, it's always just the most important thing to me. It's like, okay, if they can't beat you with football, they'll try and beat you with physicality.
Mhm.
So outmatch them with their physicality and you'll beat them with your football. Rise
24
up to the
fouls in this
challenge.
game. 24 fouls. I just think that's these. I mean, 24 fouls. A lot of tackles. Obviously, 19 tackles, 18 tackles. I just think that's. I don't know. I just thought that they're just trying to not allow for us to like get measured and get comfortable in the game, and that's what when I my version of what I'm saying being physical is like a team will, rather than allow for you to do your runs and everything else. I understand it's a physical, it's a contact game, but they're going to give you a little extra push, or they're going to like hold on to your kid a little bit, or they're going to grab at you and not allow for you to make those runs. Look, I mean, we were being, I think we were given what we were getting, in the sense of, there was the one where McAllister just stood right, he knew he was going to get beat possibly, and he stood and he got on his yellow card. It was a good, well taken yellow card, because he would have probably gotten beaten, especially since I don't think he would have had the pace to keep up with the player in front of him. There was also a couple other parts and points that were a little bit physical, and that I think there was like a Gravenberg challenge that was kind of physical, where actually I thought it could have been a yellow, or it should have been a yellow, considering that again Gravenberg had a challenge on the Bournemouth player, and he got a yellow card for that, which I didn't think that was a foul, but that was him being physical with the Bournemouth player. And the Bournemouth player comes back and does a challenge on Gravenberg. Gravenberg's, sitting there holding his ankle, and for a second, or holding his actually wasn't holding his ankle, was holding another portion of his body, but like it was a bad fall. And that's what I'm saying, is that part was a little scary too, by the way, because I don't want to see Gravenberg go be on the mend. But that's what I mean by physical.
Yeah, apparently Mo was nearly decapitated by Kirkes. I must have missed that. Yeah, come on, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Jared. He's been doing that a lot. He's been drifting inside a lot. He's never stopped drifting inside. I just don't think he does it as a. I think we do it differently, but I don't think he's sorry. I don't think he's ever stopped drifting into the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even when Sal came in first, he was still popping up in central areas. I just don't think it's done in the same way. But yeah, he's still going in there and doing things, but just not in that more whatever you would call it. This is the inverted role, and this is what we're doing. But yeah, you see him the whole time in the middle, in front of the back three, or in central midfield, popping passes.
A lot of shots in this game too, by the way. Surprisingly so. A lot of shots. 19 shots for us, 14 shots for them. It's a decent amount of shots. I wouldn't have said it was a wide open game though, but they had a couple. They did. What was your? Do you think it was like? What would you think was the pace? Do you think that what was the real vibe of the game for you, JK? Oh, JK's on mute. Okay, Brian, can you answer that one?
The vibe of the game,
Yeah, like as in, was it like
like
if it wasn't a physical game as I test, and what was the
well, no,
what's
let me what I say is I don't think they were overly physical in anything that you wouldn't see in a normal game. I don't think they were kind of, out to hurt us or trying to that's all. But just yeah,
Mhm.
like they're a
And I
strong
wasn't.
team.
Also, let me say, I wasn't saying that they're trying to hurt us or something. They weren't being dirty. I wasn't saying that they're being dirty. I was just saying
Yeah.
they're being physical.
I suppose kind of the vibe, like just them, and we do have to. I give them a lot of respect because they kept showing all their first teamers up in the stands and all that. So it's a bit of a patch together team, and I think it was just them really showing a team that's out there playing for their manager, also on the big stage up against Liverpool. Can't, well, 3 p.m. blackout probably, but if you put in a good performance, it's going to go around the world. You
Mhm.
score a goal against Liverpool, it's going to be on all the TV shows tonight, top of the billing on Match of the Day. Um, but it was just us dealing with like different kinds of challenges and opponents coming through it. Right a bit of luck sometimes. With the post and all that. You take your chances, and then we get the pen. So just a real kind of let's show people how serious we are about this league title. Yeah, you could go there and slip up. You could. That could happen. But no, we're going to be ultra professional. Go there, deal with what they have to do. They have their chances, but then we still come out on top. And like we said, like everyone's watching, like Hilo was saying there, we now like it's obvious watching that you can see why they are where they are. You can see why they're doing so well because they're a really good side to do good stuff. But we went there, dealt with it, said, okay, I see you're a good side, fair play to you and all that. But bang, 2-0, we're off home with 3 points. It's real, it's professional. It's someone said earlier on, no injuries. Well, we'll have to look at Trent. But a couple of people came back onto the bench at least. Jota came back onto the bench. Real strong. So that to me was just a real professional. The vibe of that was a professional team getting a job done in difficult circumstances, which is what you need to win league titles. That's what you need.
Yeah. What about did you I saw this in here. Shout out to Michael Corleone, LFC. Shout out to Rasta Crab, the streets
Yeah,
of
Rasta Crab.
people.
Streets.
Shout out to High Lord, by the way, as well. Wolves up 1-0, by the way, as High Lord just gave us that little bit of an update. Yes, we did speak on the fact that we hope that Trent is not seriously injured, or it's not a hammy or something like that.
Hopefully he went down early enough to kind of stop it. I think you were saying that earlier on, where that he just said, right, something's about to pop here. Hopefully it wasn't that it popped. It was just like, yeah, I'm going to stop here because if I run anymore, I'm going to do more damage. Hopefully it was one of those ones rather than shit, I've just gone and done something here, we won't know the afterwards, but hopefully it
Yeah,
was the former where he's like, "Do you know what? I'm just going to sit down here because I can feel this about to go, rather
yeah.
than "Shit, I have to sit down because this is gone."
This is gone. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think that is true about the about Rashford. I don't know all the specifics. I don't know if you know.
close. He's close to going.
Yeah, he's very close apparently to being out the door. Then
Mm. He
they
still
are.
wants Barcelona, but they can't. They needed to move two players.
Make
They
it happen.
want him for some reason, and he wants to go to Barcelona, obviously, but they needed to sell Barcelona two players, and they're not going to be able to do it by the looks
Yeah.
of it. And even if they told you they had, would you trust them?
No.
Because you'd get there and then you'd find out, oh, actually, that loan move fell through, so you can't play for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like it's very close to being done for Villa. Obviously, he doesn't want Villa, and they're
Yeah.
prepared to pay 200. He's on like 3 to 320. They're prepared to pay 200 grand a week of it. It looks like it might be his only option to get out of United right now. Could be Aston Villa. Looks like
That'd
it'd be
be
the
good.
only option.
I think that'd be a better move for him if he's serious about trying to pick up his career and really make a real honest commitment to his football. Because I don't know,
Well, he needs
he
a
looks like he's
restart.
just he looks like he's just like sleepwalking through his career right now with the way he's going about things.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, it would be a good move for him, but I can see why he doesn't want it.
Hmm.
I can see why he sees himself as an elite player. Now he should I don't he shouldn't be right now, but he thinks Aston Villa is a big step down from United. Barcelona isn't.
Yeah,
You know, I think he's still got that ego thing in him where he might have to let his ego take a walk for a while
hmm
and go to Aston Villa and show people why. Barcelona want you and all that. Dortmund is a late shout for him. Apparently they're interested.
hmm
But would you? I mean, would you? I know it's not going to happen, but I mean, I wouldn't take him here. If I was a Dortmund or a Barca fan, I'd be saying, "Why are we going after that guy?"
Yeah. Mary with the autocorrect apparently doing a little disservice to our shout outs. And also Arsenal and Rashford. Yeah, maybe that could have happened, but yeah, it looks like he might be Villa bound. There was another shout too up in here. There was a shout I saw earlier about oh yeah, their strikers not being able to finish their meal. Luckily, Clivert, who is a player that is in form, had an opportunity, wasn't able to put it away for his opportunity. Bournemouth only had, I said how they had 14 shots, but only 3 of them were on target. A lot of shots, and then obviously out of those 3, also 2 hitting the woodwork as well. Those, and if he hits the woodwork, it's not an on target shot. What do you think about? Was it more so that we got away with getting a victory in this one, or was it that we just outplayed them? What's your assessment of that? I don't know if JK is back. Just
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
What was your assessment of the game that way? Did we get? Were we fortunate to get this win, despite it being 2-0? I understand that. If you were just to look at the paper and you'd see, or look at the score line, you'd see 2-0. You'd be like, oh, okay, they had a decent game. They held it. They held their team at bay and were able to get a 2-0 game, a 2-0 win. But was it a case where we were fortunate that they couldn't necessarily finish their dinner, or was it more like we deserve this?
Yeah, I reckon that they call it the luck of the gods. I think within control of the game, even though they hit the post twice, Allison made a few good saves. I just felt like the luck of the gods was with us today.
Mm-hmm.
Like defensively, I just felt like we weren't bad, but we weren't good.
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt like we had the game under the control, even though they had like moments of scoring. They were the form team at home, like they smashed Forest 5-0 last weekend.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying, yeah, they're going to make chances. They're going to do something. But I just felt we were lucky today as well. So we got the job done.
Yeah, because like Jimmy's saying here, yes, we were fortunate, in his opinion, as they were so unlucky. It could have been 3-2 to them today. Very easily could have been maybe 3-2 to them. Okay.
We're going to have a bit of luck now and again.
Yeah. He said also we were ugly today. Ref wasn't giving anything. But 3 points, clean sheet, and we roll on. So some subs could have come earlier, but as Rasta said, we haven't played anyone yet. Yeah, there's certainly true. Hyler was saying how Clivert missed a sitter. We had so much luck in this match on top of the ref. Okay. I don't know what, like, was the ref really, Brian, did you see the ref as being like, everyone has like, the ref was like really in our corner in this game? Am I missing something that? Maybe the challenge.
Jimmy said he gave us nothing. Jimmy said the ref gives. This is what I'm saying. JK was saying the ref was like,
was wearing
was giving us more calls.
Yeah. Scouser at heart.
I just thought he got most of the calls right. Again, I don't think the ref had a bad game. I think the fouls are fouls. He gave us a pen. It was a very kind of. It wasn't like people saying, "Was that a pen?" It's like, yeah, look, he runs across him. Guy gets behind him. It doesn't try and foul him, but contact. Guy goes down. It's a penalty. We got our penalty.
Right.
Trent. They were calling for a handball against Trent. He was waving it away.
I don't think that was a handball. I don't think that was.
No, they were calling. They were like handball. So it wasn't like there was bad calls. I don't think the ref had a notable game. I just think those people can argue about individual bits and pieces, but I think he refed it fairly well. I don't think he gave anything too much to them or anything too much to us. I'm not sitting here going, how did we not get this or how did they get that? So no, I think look, it was fine. Refs are refs. We went in there. You've got to overcome all those bits and pieces. Yeah, you can say on it. Yeah, it's one of those on another day games. Like on another day, the Semenyo one goes in, and Thingy doesn't touch Gakpo, and we don't get a pen. It's just. But you've also got to write it out, and we wrote it out. We stood up strong, and we had the extra bit of quality to bring on here and there. You can't go and like I said, I wouldn't mind watching that game again. I wouldn't mind watching it again because it wasn't able to be to watch all of it. But it's not a game. No, because I had to pop in and out a few times as well.
No, I was laughing at you. My apologies. I was laughing at Rasta Crabs.
But also like it isn't one that like you'd be getting the DVD for, as I say. It's not going to be on the highlights reel. It's just one of those. You go there, you get the job done. Mo scores twice. We get a pen. We're back up the road. Probably flying from Bournemouth these days. So back on the plane and back to Liverpool. Job done. Off to Everton next week.
Yeah. I was hoping we would have gotten the second goal before halftime, so it could have been easier. It could have maybe been different settings because they came out in the second half and really put
all guns blazing.
Yeah, they came in all guns blazing. Had a couple of scary incidences, meaning like as in goal opportunities for them to score or possibly get a goal.
They had the header, didn't they? And the shot. They had the header and then they had the shot. And I think I remember pointing out it was like 55 minutes before we had a chance in the second half, and they'd had 2 or 3. But it kind of stopped then. They had their little 10 minutes at the start. But
Yeah.
yeah, on another day, that header goes in. Or, it's just so we did well. It's not that we were lucky or what if this happened or what if that happened. It's just trying to play it out differently.
Mhm.
So, like I said, they'll come back there not buzzing. I don't think anybody's coming back from there going, "Oh, lads, we ripped them apart today. Oh, didn't we play well? Oh, you were awesome. Oh, those flicks." No, it's kind of like, oof, kind of a mopping and a wow, job done, lads. Happy to get out of there kind of thing. As opposed to, "Oh, we tore them apart. That was, oh, do you remember you did this and I did that? Oh, we were brilliant." I think it's real like, nice one. Yeah. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, yeah. 3 points, exactly. Clean sheet. I mean, it's not much more you could ask. Like as we said, it wasn't like this isn't one of those teams that was on my like V for Vendetta list or something. They were a team that we've already beaten before, obviously 3-0. A team that was 7. They've won they were 7-4, 7 wins, 4 draws, I think, in the last last 11 games. A team that obviously was well informed, has beaten a lot of very good teams. That I know that one of the headlines I read, it was on the Premier League website, was, can they pull off the quartet? I believe they were saying, or something, or can they get the quadruple against us? Meaning like beating 4 of the top teams in the league. They play well at home. It's not an easy place to play, and we went into this spot, got our 3 points, collected our 3 points, and and kept it moving. So, what else? What more can we ask for? I guess, huh? High Lord feels bad for Bournemouth. Don't cry for me, Argentina, right?
Almost felt bad. He almost felt bad.
Oh, I got you. Almost.
Yeah. That's a highly operative word in that sentence. Almost.
Dustin thinks,
just in case anyone is wondering why Hyler isn't Hyler is in a more loquacious mood tonight, it's because he's been to the pub and had 6 points apparently. So he's not going full stats Hyler tonight. He's going more vibes Hyler tonight, which is good to see. Hyler, it's very good to see.
Quick part and points. Dustin says he thinks Kluivert's off the post is the worst miss of the season. Okay.
Oh no,
it was tough. It was tough. I thought that like he needed to take it with his left, but it was just so the ball, the way that the rebound came to his right foot, it really wasn't. Yeah, it was. He couldn't really get he really couldn't get around the ball to be able to,
No, bad miss either way. Bad miss either way. But if he tried to hit that with his left, he would have done a worse job basically, because it was, the technique. It was the percentage shot was to send that back the way it came with his right. I wouldn't criticize him for that at all. But look, I'm not Kluivert. I'm not, on the end of it. But to me, it looked like that was the shot. That was the way to go with it.
Yeah, I thought he had a bit more time too, Pops, tell you the truth. I thought he maybe could have, like, rather than try to, like, I think kind of like one-timed it. Rather than one time it, he should have probably trapped it and then tried to maybe.
Well, if you mean taking it back in, yeah. If you mean bringing it down and then bringing it back inside and then taking it on his left, yeah.
Yeah.
But that would have taken some.
Take your time with it. Take your time with it. Is that what isn't that how it goes? That's the Arsenal guys say, right? Isn't that what Troop says? Isn't that the one he does?
Is that what they say to Arteta when he talks about winning titles? They're like, take your time with it. Take your time with it. No rush.
Yeah, no rush. No rush.
5, 6, 7 years, whatever you like. No rush.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. What was there was no statement. There was no statement on here. I was going to bring up. I was just getting some props, and the story got 2 points.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, I reckon Crab was on one on it. Crab seems to be very, very annoyed by people saying that Bournemouth are good. Is what
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to be good to get 7
no one's
wins
saying they're
and
prime
4.
Barcelona. No
Yeah,
one's saying they're
I'm not
prime Barcelona.
saying they were. I think that's.
Which was
I
the quote he
understand. I
used. Sorry,
understand.
so that was
Yeah.
his quote. That was his quote, was saying people are calling them prime Barcelona. It's like, or that was what. Yeah, I'm just saying. I can see. Sorry, Todd, but I just said earlier, like I can see by watching them how they're doing so well. That's all. You can tell why they are where they are. They're good players and great manager. But yeah, they're not like we said this last night. This isn't the biggest game of the season or a huge game of the season. It was a huge game in the weekend, but not in the season.
Yeah. Well, I think
They're still
to come across a team that is playing so well and is in such great form, which they were. Let's not get twisted. They've won some very big games for themselves this season against teams that people thought that they would have some issues with. I mean, they beat a well informed. I understand Newcastle lost today to Fulham, but they had beaten a very well informed Newcastle. They had also beaten United as well, but they beat a well informed Forest at the time, and I mean not in some easy fashion. This is the same Forest that scored 7 goals today. They beat them 5-0 before this, I believe that was the score. If I'm wrong, please correct me. They beat a team that we are going to see in a couple, not in a couple, about 10, 11 days from now. But our next Premier League game, something that I believe it was Crab that was saying that he's a little bit what I want to make sure I don't want to misquote you, Crab. So I'll make sure. Let me get your quote right. This was what he says. He says, "The streets are never scared. Come on, man. The streets are never scared, right?" But he's a little bit more mindful. How about we use that word for you? How about we use that one? A little bit more mindful of Everton after maybe a 4-0 win today in a game that some maybe had being a little bit closer. Let's see. Realism Jared has a question for everyone. You want to take that question, Bri? Anyone think Arioli will go to Spurs when Ange gets the sack?
I think he will almost certainly leave Bournemouth in the summer. It'll take a lot for him to stay there if they keep going, but I think he'll have better options, I would imagine. You never know, though. I'm not saying, but I think he probably better stay in Bournemouth for a second year. It would be. Yeah, the other managers have looked at that and said, like the Spurs project is very attractive to a lot of managers. Regardless of what's happened, the money they have, the stadium they have.
I hope, yeah,
it
I
is.
hope.
But from Bournemouth, it's a step up from Bournemouth. I don't think he goes there. No, I think
Mhm.
he could go somewhere maybe in Europe rather than kind of taking a bigger job than Bournemouth, but that's a great job.
Mhm.
I think he could. I could imagine him leaving England and going to a bigger job in Europe, maybe like Borussia Dortmund or something like that.
Mhm. What is his nationality again?
He's Spanish.
He is from Spain. Okay. Okay. I would not like to see him go to Arsenal because he could probably make a difference at Arsenal, to tell you the truth. He is a good coach. He can maybe figure something out a little bit better than what they're getting with Arteta. But and I don't think that it would be the Spurs. Let's not get it twisted. The Spurs have, and this is what Pops is saying about Levy being the problem. Spurs have had some good coaches. I mean, they've had some of the best coaches that you can think of, or at least some of the best coaches in the game, quote unquote. And there was a quote. There was someone that spoke on this too. This is not my individual thought, but there was someone. I'm trying to remember who exactly said this quote. It might have been, I think it was Redknapp said this because I was watching. They did a BBC transfer special, and I think he said something to this light. But as far as coaching, if you think about Spurs, look at where their former coaches are and what they're doing with their respective teams. And I'm talking about like whether it's Conte or whether it's whether obviously Nuno or Mourinho, they're all doing pretty well with the clubs that they're at. They're not necessarily. I'm not saying that they're all top of the league or top of the league with wherever they are, but they're certainly, or meaning like as in they're the top team in their league, but they're competing and they're in the top four. I think all three of the coaches, all three of those former coaches are all top four in their leagues. That's concerning. Because then to me, that sounds more like it's not the coaching.
It's the players.
Say again?
It's the players. It's like Man United, bro. You can bring Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp there, and they're still going to be in the position what they're at now.
I would say this too, and I want to hear what you have to say, JK, to this. I can understand what you're saying with the players, maybe, but why I would push back a little bit against it being just the players, primarily because unlike Manchester United, it seems like there's like egos. It seems like the conductivity that they have for having a real good atmosphere isn't exactly the best at Manchester United, but at the Spurs camp, a little bit different settings. It's more so with they just had a rash of injuries, and it's been very difficult. Like they were good. I don't know. Do you attest it to being I guess because I mean, it's not really a new coach bounce per se, but Spurs were doing very, very well last year in that start of the Ange experience, and then they started to teeter a little bit, had some injuries.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit of the coach not necessarily wanting to adjust his schemes to fit the players that he has at hand. And this year it's been injuries. It's been just a lack of commitment to defense. It's been certainly like it's a wild run.
It's like they beat City 4-0 away, and then they got beat by Leicester 2-1 at home. So that just tells you everything about Tottenham, too inconsistent.
They lost to Ipswich.
Yeah, as well. So even Ipswich lost today to Southampton. So football's a bit of a mad thing. So predicting a 2-0 win for Liverpool today for me was a sort of good thing. It's a difficult one to predict, you know. Football can just turn just like that, you know. Like, look how many times they hit the post today. It could have been 1-1. They could have got another 1-2-1, you know. So just going back to the game quickly, I just feel sometimes we allow the opposition a bit too much space. I think when Jones, Darwin, and Bradley came on, he sort of tightened up a little bit better. Could have been fatigue, I don't know, but yeah. But for me, Tottenham, bro, if they who they're playing tomorrow, Tottenham are playing Brentford away. Brentford at home are all right, you know. I think, like, how long is this guy going to last in the job? Because they've got us on Thursday after that. So for me,
it's very difficult to get 3 points there. To get a result,
it's going to be difficult.
It's going to be difficult.
What result do you want to see in that one tomorrow? Then do you want them to lose, sack the manager, a new manager comes in before the Liverpool match, or I think they'll get that guy who was their manager for a while, who's on the bench, their ex-player. He'll probably just come in straight away if Pochettino gets
Mason.
Yeah, that's the guy. So tomorrow, if they lose and they sack him, yeah, he'll probably take team. But for me, I want to beat Tottenham on Thursday.
JK, they had 4 managers in one season.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. They just
after they sacked Pochettino, people are talking about, you know, good team spirit.
I don't think they're. I don't think they're getting a result against us, Dustin. By the way, I get if Spurs win a cup this year. Yes, they're certainly they're up 1-0 in the first leg, or at halftime it's 1-0 basically in this semi-cup final. I keep saying semi-cup, semi-final of the League Cup. But I don't think they're going to get that kind of. They're not going to get that kind of result against us. I believe it definitely depends on what team that we put out there. I think that we are going to put out a decent sided team. We're not going to go. We're not going to go light. It is the opportunity. It's home. It's you know, if you're going to go out, you're going to go out with a fight. But I agree with Pops on this comment too. I don't think Spurs are 15th in the league bad, and they're not even 15th, by the way. They're actually 16th in the league. That's how bad it is, Pops.
Just what I was saying.
Not 15th bad. No, they're not 15th bad. They're 16th bad. That's how sad. But go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, just what I was saying there. What JK? I was saying, like, they had 4 managers in 1 year, right? You were talking about Mason coming in. That season. They had Nuno, they had Mason, they had Nuno, they Conte, whatever the run of it went. But it was all off of the back, like you were talking about, team spirit and all that shit. Like Pochettino, that's the team that went to the Champions League final against us. That's the team that, you know, got second in the league, I think. And that's because he had that atmosphere. Like Dele Alli, look at what's happened to Dele Alli's career after Pochettino left Tottenham. Mourinho came in. They did an Amazon documentary where he's calling him out in it. And now he's come out and talked about, like, the problems he's been having, suffering in his life. You know, he had that atmosphere going at Tottenham, and they didn't back Pochettino.
Yeah.
They were like 8th the next year. I think, like, they faltered the next year. They were dropping off. But
you mean the year that they played us in the Champions League?
Yeah, and then the following year, then it was like, we can do something here. We can do something here, and they kind of didn't. And then he gets sacked, and then you get basically, I was saying, then you get 4 managers in a season. I think, you know, like Mason, Nuno, whatever. Someone will tell me what it was, but that screwed them up. And then they had Conte, and Conte wants to play 3-4-3 and wing backs. Then they get rid of him, and they want to bring in a completely different manager. You know, it's completely knocked them off kilter. If you look at how much money they earn and how much money they spend, they don't spend money. It looks like they spend money, but they don't. Compared to everybody else and the amount that they earn,
They
actually don't. They actually really kind of cheap it out a bit.
Agreed.
If you look at what they spend, like our wage bill, we don't spend a lot in transfers compared to the top six. In the top six, we don't spend. We're around fourth. We're I think we're bottom for maybe fifth or bottom for net spend, maybe around fourth for transfers, but we have the second highest wage bill. We spend way more on wages than Spurs, Arsenal. These like we go right up to almost Man City levels when it comes to wages. On transfers, on net spend, and all that, we drop way down. But we actually pay a lot in wages. Spurs don't spend a lot on any of these things. So yeah, it looks like they do big flashy things, but they don't sometimes, you know. But the Poch came in, I think he won, or not Poch, Postecoglou came in, he won 3 Manager of the Month awards in his first 4 or 5 months in the league. Hasn't won one since.
Yeah.
Hasn't won once. He won Manager of the Month in his first 3 seasons, or 3 months. I think he won Manager of the Month 3 times, or 3 out of 4. Hasn't won one since. You know, it was a hell of a start. They came out of the gate, but yeah, Tottenham fans will tell you he's responsible for crazy tactics and all the injuries, high line, all that stuff. So it's a interesting place to be. But hey, look, they got the world's best stadium, right?
Yeah.
Beyonce is playing next week, and you can watch international go karting the week after. So
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Sorry, there's an article out there. I just saw an article pop up. I was about to look up what the wage bill was. And one of the articles that popped up on my feed here is Thiago might have just handed Liverpool title advantage after Champions League draw. I picture of Thiago like giving I was telling you, the guy's got eyes in the back of his head. He was able to. He saw what it was about. It's like, I'm gonna make sure I get this matchup set up for Real Madrid and City. Yeah, that's funny. Let me see what it was for their wages as well. And while I do that, is there anything else that you want to react to from this game, by the way?
our lads there.
You win the Premier. You know what I saw? There was a very, very funny clip. I just saw Bernie's comment. There was a funny clip, and hopefully Pops and maybe even like maybe the streets as well, or hopefully he's still with us. There was she says Klopp has said if we win the Prem, he will come back for the celebration. He also said in an interview that if they were to award us those Premier League titles because of maybe whatever, if the ruling were to go, excuse me, if the ruling were to go, against City, that he would come back and buy the beer and have the celebration. It was pretty awesome to see, by the way. Pretty awesome to see, or pretty awesome to hear. And I was like, that's the kind of coach. That's one of those things where it's like he's the kind of coach where,
yeah, maybe if
you'd always
you'd
always want to have if he were to say, "Hey, I'm going out for a beer," you'd be like, "I'm there, Britt. I'm there, man. Let's go have that beer. Let's go have that drink." Go ahead, Brian. What are you saying?
Yeah, no, I think no, you're asking. I think Nalante was the boys want to come back in on anything, and Nalante went off mute there for a sec.
I'm gonna actually also.
Oh, yeah, JK's back. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring in the doctor to the house as well. Get a house call. I thought that was cool though. When he made
Thought
that
they looked
comment,
like
he was like, because I know some people were like, no, I wouldn't take the trophies, or no, I wouldn't celebrate. The moment's gone. Blah 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 blah. Trump. Let me get this down. Klopp was
No,
like,
give him the look. I just think let him come back from them. But if we win a league this year, I think he'll be respectful of Arne Slot and not make himself the focus. He said,
yeah,
"This is Slot's." You know, he'll maybe low key kind of fly back into Liverpool as this kid just Oh, guess what? Klopp was in the city that night. But I'm sure he
yeah.
did
I
take
feel
the
you.
spotlight. But
I feel you.
he'd pay
Is
his
this
respects.
Klopp's?
He'd show
Is
him
this?
out.
Yeah.
But I just mean, sorry, I just mean on if we won it, he'd like say, "Hey, look, that was Slot's thing. Let him do." But he might pop back up, have a
Mhm.
drink with the lads or something. But if we got the retrospective ones, is what you're talking about.
I
Definitely, if
say,
he would be the ones, then he
yeah,
can come back. Definitely, then he can come back and do. I can fully imagine him coming back and doing renting out a hotel for a weekend, basically, and getting all the boys back together. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Getting Bobby Firmino back, getting Mane back over,
yeah,
everyone just go, yeah, I can definitely imagine him doing that. He'd be like, come on, lads, I made a few quid off this Red Bull thing. This weekend is on me. You know what I mean? We're
yeah.
going to celebrate those titles. We're going to
Yeah,
do it together.
exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
would love to see. Yeah, I would totally love to see that. On all those settings, I would love to see that. If it was the city thing, then
And
if we
just
were to
add
do
him to
that,
the
that'd be
Champions
cool.
Wall.
What's that?
When you go and just have a video of the Champions Wall, just this cheeky little video, 30 seconds up on YouTube. No commentary, no music, just like a guy on a ladder taking down like the number 20 and replacing it like with
Or
a
number
number
19,
20.
yeah, number 19,
Yeah,
and then or
yeah.
you mean for them for
For, no, for our titles,
oh,
taking
okay,
down
oh yeah,
and
yeah,
putting,
yeah,
and then taking it
yeah,
and then
yeah,
just replacing it. No commentary, no music, just you know what you're watching, you know what you're seeing. No big fanfare, just no, it's not this, it's that now. However many we get, say we get an extra two, just a guy on a ladder with a screwdriver, taking out one number, replacing with another. You know
yeah,
what we're talking.
yeah. We have a house visit, a house call from the doctor.
I hope you have health insurance.
Yeah, Beijing Pops. Yeah, I know. Beijing Pops, LFC in the house. Pops, how you doing?
What's up? Good, man. 2-0, 2-0. Good.
2-0, 2-0.
Oh,
Exactly.
Good, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you don't think so? Do you want to comment real quick? I know that you've had a certain opinion towards whether you would celebrate whether we should celebrate the
Nah.
if it were to happen.
No thanks.
Yada yada. No thanks for you.
No,
Okay.
I'll give you a facial. Look, no,
I got you.
not for me.
I got you. Even if Klopp comes back and he's buying the beers.
And the vodka Red Bulls, come on,
If-
it'll be the vodka Red Bulls.
If we're
not
having the beers and the vodka Red Bulls, then it's for whatever we're gonna do this season.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the moment is gone, though. Look, the moment is
That's
gone.
that-
Pops.
that's
The,
it.
the, the moment as fans, the moment is
Wow.
It's
gone.
the journey,
you
man.
know.
It's the journey.
Wow.
I'm
Pops. It's
taking,
the journey.
but pops. The separate question is, do you want them added to the total? That's what I'm about. So look,
Nah.
I'll take them, add them to the total, whatever.
Nah.
If they're out there, if they're being given to someone, if
Manchester
they've been
United.
stripped, I'll take
Manchester United's adding them to their totals.
That's
So,
why
I
I'm
mean-
not then. That's why I'm not then 12.
Oh wow! So you're gonna say, all right, you add them
No.
to your total, but us
Go
no?
ahead if you want. I'm not.
Wow.
No, I mean, but if they're awarding them, like, do you know, like
Pops-
when they
Pops-
stripped Juve,
I know.
but I mean, say if it's not up to us, I mean, like when they stripped Juve of those titles and they basically awarded them to Inter, it's like Inter didn't, it's like they weren't asking for them. It's just said, no, we're stripping them and they're being awarded to ye. I mean, I'm taking it on the record books, but yeah, obviously we can't go back to the stadium and celebrate. We can't go back to the day when we won that league.
I mean, we
But
can do
yeah.
whatever we want. You know what I'm saying?
No, we literally can't
Fire
go
up the
back.
bus.
Well, I didn't realize we had time. I didn't realize time travel was an option.
We got
Sorry,
the
I
yacht
didn't
party
realize
going
that.
and everything. You know.
12
didn't
loves a
realize
party,
that.
Brian. You remember that? Laszlo 12 loves
I
a
just want to
party.
know how much
Yeah.
how much are the tickets to 12 Man's Time Travel Party, where we go back into we
There
can
you
literally
go.
go anywhere. Okay.
There you go. Hey, hi. I'll celebrate for you guys then. How about that?
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. You can do that. You can do
Oh man. But yes, if we were to do something, hey, I mean, I'm even on board of saying, there's a certain former number 8 that we could maybe send a 6-month contract or something, maybe a little cheeky 6-month contract to get
This is where it gets weird.
Laszlo, I'm going dark now.
All
Yeah, I'm
right.
leaving 12 on his own. You're on your own 12.
I'm on my own on that one.
Yeah.
Am I on my own chat? Am I on my own on that one too? Oh wow, that hurts.
What's Robbie Fowler doing these days? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm back,
Come on.
Laszlo. I'm back. Robbie
Yeah.
Fowler, I'm back. I'm back.
There
I'm
you
back to
go.
Robbie
There.
Fowler.
See.
Nah, I'm just joking. I'm joking. No.
Oh man. What were your thoughts on the game, Pops? How did you feel about this one? Was it like obviously 3-point collectors, you know,
Yeah.
always good, but you know, was this game a game that we were fortunate to get? You know, I remember Jimmy said something about like, you know, we could have easily been down 3-2 in this game instead of up 2-0, obviously.
The saying goes, what fortune favors the brave, in it. So it's ways. You're right, you're lucky in games, man. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. They hit the frame twice, and generally that's a miss. So if you look statistically, you'll say, well, they missed. So it is what it is. But there were some moments of concern which you could see from the sideline as well. Mr. Locke wasn't looking happy.
Oh, I know. Yeah. There was
you
one
could
where he was like
see,
shaking his head. Yeah.
One of the challenges I think we have as a team is that we lack physicality in terms of in the tackle, and people call it dark arts, whatever you want to call it. But when it gets a little grimy, you need some characteristics. So I saw Verge get involved, and I was like, "Yeah, Skipper, do it. Get involved." Salah was getting ragdoll all game long, and I was getting upset on stream. I was like, Salah, just slap him, because the referee doesn't seem to be giving you anything. So just,
he wasn't.
You do your thing then, because it's sickening. It's a weekly thing now. It's a consistent thing, and you said, "All right, well, you know what? It is ways." That's obviously then some sort of directive that's been given where players are allowed to just pretty much grab you full Nelson, whatever, if you're backing into them as a striker or forward or whatever, and just kind of do what you want. So it seems like that's the way it is. So in the middle of the park, you need, if Endo was a little bit quicker, he would play almost every game for me that's like that, because I just have him in the middle of the park and say, just go to town,
just be the enforcer.
Make some of these people feel some of what they're dishing out.
Yeah.
Do you think that's where that's in? Sorry, Pops. You just said if he was a bit quicker. Do you think that's what's actually holding him back? Is his pace?
Yeah, for me.
Endo, is it?
Everything else is there. If you look at him as a professional, he gives you exactly what you need. If you give him 2 minutes, he's going to give you 100%. At 2 minutes, if you give him 22 minutes, he's going to give you 100%. Which most of us that sort of backed Endo, if you want, understood, while others were saying that he's not this or not that. You understand what he is. It doesn't make sense talking about what he's not. Talk about what he is, and that's what he is. He isn't the tallest, he isn't the strongest, he isn't the fastest. So if you understand that, then you can't expect him to be the tallest, the fastest, and the strongest. But what he'll give you is he'll go into the tackle where some of the other guys won't, and he'll give you some of the physicality. And the referee spoiled it as well, because he put Gravenberch for a nothing tackle, which then meant Gravenberch couldn't get involved. Mac, obviously being the South American he is, got a little bit hot under the collar, because he got fouled about 3 or 4 times before something was actually called, and then he spun around and sort of reacted to something. He said, but that's what's going to happen, ref. If you keep letting people pull people's shirt and tug them around, at some point they're going to spin around, like he said, and slap you. Because in all honesty, that's what happens in the game.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was alluding to, Brian. Well put. Like Pops was
that's
more
winding it up. Yeah, winding this up, and
But the
forcing
ref
reaction.
let it happen, though, Laszlo. He continued to allow things, and we had a couple opportunities where we got
If you
flattened
ask,
on a
sorry,
break,
Pops, if you ask
and he allowed
JK,
the play on.
JK said, JK
Yeah, go
was
on.
watching him. He said he felt that the ref was on our side. He said he
Yeah,
felt the ref
yeah.
gave us most of the calls.
Somebody
I
else
just
said
mean
that as
it's
well.
interesting to see the two different
But generally, this is why
perspective.
I like to watch the game again before I sort of like give full-blooded reactions, because you're still feeling the sort of emotion of the match when you watch it. When you watch it the second time, knowing the result, then you kind of say, well, oh yeah, we got away with one there. Or because Gravenberch did foul somebody on a count to where we then got possession and we were complaining about a foul. It's kind of like, well, yeah, Gravenberch got away with one there. And then we ended up with the ball. I think it was Dom or Mac that got fouled as well. It's like, yeah, well, that's a foul too. But the ref, to me, missed too much. Yeah, as much as, and let's just say he was in our favor, then there's more that we should have had then. Because to me, he missed too much. He let too much go, and then it became a bit sort of bitty, if you want to call it that, where the two sides are good footballing sides. And to me, they did what they needed to do to get the result, which was be more physical, which is right. If you're a bigger team, then be the bigger team. Use what you have as your advantage, and go at us. But ultimately, I mean, the fact that we kept it as a clean sheet says the defenders did enough. Yes, we got lucky with the Kluivert miss, I guess, if you want. And then Semenya, how he gets it back onto his left foot to shoot in the box for me was actually frustrating, because for me, I felt we dealt with the situation properly and then gave him an opportunity. I was like, come on, guys, man. There were enough of you around that he shouldn't have had that opportunity. And that's why I could see Mr. Lot being frustrated with what he was seeing on the pitch.
Is that the one that Ali made the save on?
No,
Oh,
the
hit the
first
post.
one that smashed the frame.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
There were too many
He was
men
just
around
dancing.
him. Yeah, he
He
was.
was just dancing around in front of him. He just danced to the left, danced to the right, danced back again, had a shot. Nobody really
Nobody
kind of made
engaged. Yeah, nobody engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrified to give away the pen.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Terrified to give away the pen. Because you can see he's dancing, and the slightest missed time, you
Yeah.
touch him, he goes
You're
down.
gonna clip that heel or
Penalty.
touch his toe, and he's gonna
Any kind of contact, penalty.
Yeah, there was certainly some fortunate bounces for us in this game, definitely. And there was also, as was noted, our gaffer was not exactly happy, over the moon with a lot of what was going on. I thought also maybe some of his anger, if you want to call it that, or his him being upset was also because of the way that some of the he was, I guess, the same what you're just saying about McAllister, being hugged and pulled and fouled, and then he gets a call or doesn't get a call, and then he was fortunate, I think, to not get another yellow.
Yeah. When he kicked the guy, he could have been sent off, to be honest.
Could have been sent off.
It would have been one of those where you're saying, is that really enough to get sent off? That's what you would have ended up saying. Oh, that's too yellow.
That would have been harsh.
Okay, I guess, whatever. But
yeah, that would have been really harsh.
It's funny. It's funny because Gravenberch, right after he got his yellow card, he got flattened, and I said, "Well, that's definitely a yellow card." And the referee I said the same. Booked the player and said to myself, "All right, that's odd. Now you're killing me. I don't understand what you're doing."
Right. That's all. I mean, like, if I don't mind if that's the way you're going to call the game, just call it consistent. Then that's how I look at it.
But we know that's not the thing. Consistency isn't the referee's thing, so it is what it is, to be honest.
Well,
that's all I say.
Your boy was at the front and center of any harsh treatment that was being doled out. Definitely, he was getting stuck in.
Who's that?
Tyler Adams. He wasn't shying away from it.
Tyler Adams,
that's his thing, though. That's his
thing. Tyler Adams, Lice does not back down from a scrap.
That's what I'm saying. So if that's his thing, that's his thing. It's like Mac. That's Mac's thing. I guarantee you, Mac enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Seen it from day one. Mac loves it, man. We said
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the Matt loves it in the middle
Oh,
of our
when
back.
Tyler Adams got hit in, with the blood, he had the bloody lip or something, that probably was, the adrenaline that took him
Because
from,
he was the one who went in on
10 to
Gravenberch.
11.
He was the one who went in on Gravenberch on the one that gets called back. The one that gets called back for the foul on Diaz by Hyson is an elongated period of advantage it gave us. Adams was the one that went in full bore on Gravenberch.
There were 3
And
fouls
he
in
was
that
like,
one.
yeah, and he
In that
calls
play,
it
there
back
were 3. Yeah,
for the
yeah,
Diaz
yeah.
one and gives Hyson the yellow card for holding Diaz.
Mhm.
But yeah, Adams does not shy
Adams
away
got a
from it.
free
Now,
one. Adams had a free one in that one, Laszlo. He definitely had a free one there.
yeah, he's yeah, look, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what you're talking about. Is that aggression? Aggression, as long as it's on one side of the line, is fine. That's
Yep.
what wins you games. That's why a team like Bournemouth can outperform itself, because they're not going to be weaklings. They're not going to be pushed up. You got someone like Tyler Adams, and they're like, "You ain't going to bully me, bitch."
Yeah.
That's what you need, and that's where you are. And fair play to them for it. I admire them for it. But you marry that to skill and ability, then you got a hell of a team. That's why I like it, because our best teams, Graham Souness, Manchester United's best team, Roy Keane, Chelsea's
Steve
best
McMahon.
team, N'Golo Kante, our best team, Steven Gerrard. You tell
Yeah.
me these people didn't go in, you know what I mean? They'd
Right.
leave you on the ground. That
Mhm.
steel rod running up your spine.
Mhm.
That's what you need. VVD has it, but we've got silk as well. And when you can marry steel and silk, geez, you're unbeatable. You are.
Yeah.
You're unbeatable.
Was there any standout performance today by either us or maybe even by Bournemouth? If you thought that Bournemouth, if you're out there thinking that Bournemouth should have done better, was there any standout performance for you? By anyone?
If you want to do the extreme, which our fans seem to love to do,
Okay.
then it would be Ali and Robbo, I think, just because of the slander that those two have been getting, and we should keep Kelleher in because Ali looks old and slow and whatever, and Robbo isn't fit for whatever. So if you want to do that extreme type stuff, then I guess it might be them. Otherwise, it was
there you go.
it was bits and pieces.
I
know that's your thing.
I already got called out for my extreme.
No, but like you said, if you wanted the extreme,
that's the extreme. If you want, I think. To his credit, though, Robbo did have a decent game. To his credit, and a lot of people would have been saying this is a game that he's, and actually both wing backs. Trent didn't have a good game all around, but I think defensively in general they were sort of okay. But I don't think anybody was exceptional. And again, I'll watch the game again later on and have a look. But I don't think there was anybody exceptional. Dom kept falling over himself. I thought at a point Lucho was doing good things, but still then just at a level that's okay, because he didn't finish anything. It wasn't he went back, picked it up, beat someone, played a 1-2, got somebody in, scored, assisted, whatever. But he was you could see what his role was.
Do you want to can you I don't know if you heard what I was saying in the roll call, but it's something I said on Coppish that I spoke on. I said I somewhat got into it a couple different times. I remember I think it was with Lex when he was going on about Nunez. And I was explaining the fact of Lucho today had 2 shots. 1 shot on target, 1 shot blocked. How often do you hear a number 9 getting 2 shots in a game where we had 19? Like realistically think about that.
I could understand from sort of like both sides of the argument, because a 9 is your focal 9 and he wasn't the focal 9. So he was 9 by default, if you want to say that, but he wasn't your quintessential. He's your Haaland if you want, or your whoever you want to replace that
Mhm.
9 with.
Mhm.
Ollie Watkins or whoever, Chris Wood. So he's not your like point of the attack. But you could see when we lined up, it looked like a 4-2-4 where him and Dom was sort of square, and you had Mo and Gakpo on either side, and it was like a 4-man press where you're asking them to do that work where they sort of move back and forth
Mhm.
together. And
Mhm.
you could see Dom filling the lines as well. So as Lucho sort of dropped back in to collect, Dom almost
Mhm.
replaced him as the 9, if you want, in that central spot. And then
Mhm.
even Trent got a header on target from filling in the gaps, which is, I guess, clearly what we're looking to do by telling Gakpo and Mo to sort of go as wide as possible to spread the field, to try as much as possible to open up the lanes for us then to fill them with the likes of Dom and even Trent there and Mac, and then CJ when he comes on, whoever it is,
Mhm.
Nunes when he comes on, to sort of fill those spots.
Mhm.
But it doesn't
I
argue
know. I
well
know.
for you where you keep play. Sorry. I was just gonna say it doesn't argue well for you when you keep playing him in the false 9 when you actually have 2 strikers who are 9s. But it
Mhm.
might just be one of those things where you think, well, it works better for us anyway. That just happened to work. That works better for us right now. Maybe
Yeah.
Nunes becomes our Jota back in it at some point, but as it stands right now, this is what he thinks works better. People don't like it because I guess maybe they think we haven't scored enough, but we scored, I think, 5 against West Ham and 6 against Spurs with the same system, right? So
Right. Right. It can work. It can be decisive in breaking teams down at times. But yeah, I know that there was I believe it might have been yourself actually that was speaking about how Lucho and Cody. There was times when like Cody, and it might have been JK actually, but Cody was more playing the like as the commentator spoke on it today too.
he'll fill
Sometimes
that 9
Cody
spot
will,
as well.
yeah, he'll share
Yeah.
the 9 spot with
Yeah.
him and let Lucho go to the wing,
Yes.
and it's a unique. I do find it a unique set of circumstances for our team to be able to do that. It was similar to what I was thinking that they might do with the whole like when we had the Simicast and Robbo playing next to each other, they could do this whole like switching in and out. I don't know if you want Simicast as your left center half though, but with that said, in this game, Lucho, I just said, had 2 shots, 1 shot on target, 1 shot blocked. Cody Hackbo, 1 shot. So it's like one of those cases where I'm like, are we getting too wrapped up in the general interpretation of a 9 is this is what I want. This is what I expect. I expect these kinds of numbers. I expect these kinds of opportunities, these kinds of like situations to be presented, as opposed to, as you said, like this is Slot's interpretation of what he wants from R9 that is going to help his system flourish. Do you think it's a little bit of that, or is that maybe too broad of an assessment? I'll ask
No,
Brian.
I think
Or ask,
spot on.
yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
pop.
go on. Go, Brian. Go on. Let me hear Laszlo.
I don't want to. No, I don't. Look, you're going to be annoyed with me now, and I
Yes,
don't
sir.
want you to be annoyed with me. I don't want you to be annoyed with me, but I just think what we're overanalyzing it a little bit in terms of Arne Slot hasn't bought anybody. These are the players that he has, and these are the players that he's using in this scenario. Now, I think he would want a lot of them, but I think we shouldn't get too caught up in, oh, this is what he's doing now, so this is what he wants to do. But I think we've all generally also come to the conclusion that Darwin Nunes is not a false 9, and we're quite clearly playing with a false 9. A center, not a number 9, a center forward who drops deep or a whatever. And like Pop said, the amount of times like this season when you watch us, when we go like real rigid in our shape and we push up, it's a 4-2-4. It's a 4-2-4. Or there's two guys in midfield and there's literally four in a line across. So, it's not even like we're playing like someone said in preseason with two number 10s up front. So definitely, nobody should be out there going, why isn't Darwin performing at this level? I just think, yeah, to me, it's like it is quite clear what he wants to do, and that isn't going to get the best out of somebody like Darwin who isn't, built to play that role. You want to run in behind, you want to do all that Darwin stuff, then you use a Darwin, but we're not using a Darwin. So yeah, to me, it's not really, it's always been clear since he's came in. It's like, okay, this is what he wants to do. And I think someone gave an interview. It's like, so what would it be? He's like, do you know what? The most ironic thing of all time is like, if you ask Slot who he would want to center forward, it'd be Bobby Firmino. That would be his, perfect. That would be his kind of, two wingers, like you're saying. Gakpo gets our goals, Mo gets our goals, and the guy in the middle, he's not the guy that's there to get 25 a season. He's the guy that's there to link the whole shit together. Hopefully, get 10. That'd be awesome. Something like that. But no, he's not your spearhead. He's not your Haaland. He's not your Lewandowski, Ronaldo. It's much more the link man, Bobby role. So if that's not gets the best out of Darwin, no chance. Darwin needs to play with a club that plays with a focal point number 9, the old school number 9, traditional number 9, whatever you want to call it, and then you will get the best out of someone like him. So I just think that to me, it's always been, and the reason now Diaz is in there is because Jota isn't fit. So it's not really that difficult for me really to look at it, but we've muddled through.
But
No, I just think we made it work. I mean, we don't like everyone's saying we don't play like why everyone's saying why criticize Darwin when we don't play with a number 9? And I'm saying, yeah, we don't play with number 9. Darwin is a number 9. So
I guess like my point was though also like for instance in the Lille game, Darwin played and he had something. I just looked at the stat too, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I have to look it up again. I think it was like 6 or 7 different ground duels. He was like 4 or 5 or 7 first ground duels. Lucho was like 6 of 8 or something. Let me be accurate with it. I don't want to misquote. Yeah, he was 4 of 7 for his ground duels, and Lucho, for instance, was 6 of 8 for his ground duels. It's not that I don't think that Diego can't be assertive in as a false 9 or even as a 9. Obviously, he's a comparable forward. But I think that there are certain aspects of Lucho's game that are maybe a little bit more bonuses to the way that this interpretation of the role that we have here for the 9 is different. Like as in, it's a case where I get where you're saying, oh well, he wants a false 9 or going to play as a false 9. But if you have 2 outright number 9s that you could utilize as number 9s, but yet you're now trying to force them in essence to play.
Which 2 outright number 9s we have?
I think that Nunez is an outright number 9. I get the
Nunez is completely. He's a number 9. Yeah.
Okay.
Jota isn't an outright.
I think that Diego could be an outright number 9. I think that he has the capabilities of being a fox in the box, a fox in the box style number 9.
I always see him as a false 9. Someone who drops deep, drops wide. That's what I wouldn't see him as a. I just see him as a. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just think we play with someone who drops deep.
Or even you could even maybe say Dan's too, I guess, as well, if you want to throw that in there.
Dan's is a 9, yeah. Dan's is a 9, definitely. But I'm just saying, I thought we were in agreement. We don't play with a Darwin type 9.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with that. I'm agreeing with you. I'm
So-
agreeing with you that.
I thought, like, basically that's just really the issue, and until it all gets kind of moved around and changed up, and we see where the land lies, it doesn't really matter. Right now, we've got a nice mixture, a nice, we've got people who can do different versions of different things. I think we're all right. We're over. That's over Lana. I mean, also over stressing. Look, we've got.
Well,
We won today against Bournemouth away, and we had Jota and Nunez on the bench.
yeah,
It's
no,
good.
I'll ask
Nice
this. Then
stuff.
I'll ask this follow up. Then I'll ask this to Pops to get him in and JK. And I'm not sure if Nolante's back with us yet or not, but I know that there is a lot of people that want certain components or there's people that have given up on Diego. There's people that have certainly given up on Darwin. And they're also asking for us to bring in a 9, an Isak, or I know Isak's the common name that's thrown out there. And again, this is not saying that I don't think that Isak is an incredible talent, very, very, very talented player, very talented number 9, one of the best number 9s definitely in the Prem right now. But at that same time, considering that we have outright number 9s and we're still not playing to that style, wouldn't it make more sense to try to go out and get a more, if anything, to get one of the top false 9s out there, than to think of, oh, let's go out there and get I don't know all the names. I just know Isak's often thrown out there left and right, and it's one of those cases where I'm like, I don't know if he's not necessarily in my mind. I don't think of Isak being a false 9. Am I wrong in saying that? I think he's more of an outright number 9, right? Or am I wrong in saying that?
Well, sorry, I'll let Pops go, but what you would be best off using an example there is saying everyone's saying going out and get this guy Gyökeres, right? That's
Him too. Yeah.
he's an
Oh,
out,
man.
he's an out and out number 9. That
Okay,
guy,
yeah.
right?
Right.
He'd be like, well, we don't play with the Darwins. We'll get Gyökeres. No, well, he's literally kind of the same freaking player.
Mm-hmm.
Outright number 9, Gyökeres.
Mhm.
Isak used to play off the left a lot for Sociedad, for Sweden, can drop deep. Yeah, he's more tricky that way. He can play as a number 9. But yeah, that'd be like saying, oh, get rid of Darwin. We don't play and go and spend 100 million on Gyökeres. But that's just literally the same player.
Right.
Yeah, be
I'm
more
trying to say
creative.
like what
Yeah.
or
Chris Wood in an extreme stupid example. Even if someone says, "Oh,
or
get
not,
Chris
yeah,
Wood,"
or
for
not,
you,
yeah, that is
stupid.
extreme. Yeah,
That
that
is,
is an
but
extreme example.
he's an
He
out and
is
out
talking
number
about
9.
yeah.
But no, I've heard it said. If you want to talk about crazy shit, people say. I've heard people say we should get Chris Wood for a year. Look, and he's just an out and out number 9.
Right.
So if you
right.
don't,
By the way,
yeah,
content
go and get
creators.
yeah, I don't know. Like, say a Marmouche, would it have been a Marmouche, someone who can kind of play? I think, but Marmouche seems to me like someone who can play more across the forward line, as in he can play wide or central, as opposed to someone who can drop deep as well and kind of do that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm trying to get what or even like a Victor, the guy who plays for Galatasaray.
Oh,
now.
Victor Osimhen. Victor
Yeah.
Osimhen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the outright number 9. Good, dynamic scorer. We can all agree on that, right? But does he? If this is what we're playing and this is what we're expecting from our number 9, is that what he's going to do? Is that what he's? Are we going to? Is it going to be a case where we structure our team around so that it fits his skills, or is it more of like, are we going to sit there and say to an Osman, hey, we expect you to track back, get involved in like 8 to 10 different ground duels a game, and maybe you'll get 2, maybe get 3 shots. That's what I'm trying to get that out there in the sense of like, I think that sometimes these conversations of where and what character profile or role profile, character profile, whatever you want, player profile that we all want isn't what our coach is necessarily angle towards, because he has components that if you wanted those kinds of players, give him the opportunity to be those kinds of players. But yet he's asking for them to do different things, and they're doing it to the best of their abilities. Some maybe not to the, and not getting the type of results that, get the big headlines, but that's what I'm trying to get across. And that's something that I perceive. And I was asking if you have a different perception of that. And I'll ask Pops, then I'll ask JK the same question.
Honestly, I think it's hard because as fans, we all have our idea of what we want to see and I guess what we expect of some of the players that are there. Mr. Locke has come in and he has his own idea, and the players are not necessarily perfect for what he wants. So he's trying his best to utilize their skill sets to get ultimately what he wants as far as results. But let's just stay on the lazy. All right, let's sell Nunes and get Isak in. Does that then mean there's a profile change in the midfield as well? Because having a number 9, and I mean Isak probably is a little bit more flexible than a Chris Wood if you want the extreme or the cyborg, in terms of he's not just standing in the 6-yard box basically saying, yeah, give me a tap in. He can play football and he can get involved. So he actually would fit us fairly seamlessly for a lot of people, much like how Jota, I guess, works, because Jota isn't a 9-9 like that either. You're not looking at Jota to say, well, all right, he's in the center forward spot all the time. Jota does a lot drifting and moving and that sort of thing, which I guess as a team we've become accustomed to, because our most successful team was with Bobby himself, the system himself. Now, is it also a situation where you're saying, well, if I have a Chris Wood, does Salah still work in the same way he works? Because if you look at Elanga today, Elanga was, all right, touch it past the man and let me curl it in the box and Chris Wood's going to get a header. Right. That's not necessarily Mo's forte, but I mean, he can do it, but that's not how he plays. Yeah. Similarly, Gakpo and Lucho themselves as left wingers don't just sort of like tap it past the man, look up and say, let me swing it into the box.
Right.
You're looking at what you have, and we say it a lot as fans, horses for courses, but we say it, but then we don't necessarily believe what we're saying, I guess, because that's really what it is. At some points, you're just looking at it and saying, well, all right, what I want to do today, what's the best way for me to win the game today? All right, does Nunes being that guy up front work? And we heard him say, well, it's easier for a centre-back pairing to look at a static striker and say, okay, good, we've got him, than it is to have someone who's going to drift to the left and drift to the right, drop in deep, so you're not really marking anyone at any point in time, and then he just pops up. I don't know. I am just happy for us to keep winning 12. I'm not interested.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I'm not interested in the window, because I didn't expect anybody to come in. Mr. Locke came and he asked for one player in the summer, and he didn't get that one player in the summer, and I didn't expect him to get any players in January, because for me, it's more important to get the contracts of the 3 players who are critical to us anyway sorted out before you can then decide what you're going to do. Because if those 3 leave, then you're still saying, all right, we need those 3 replaced first, along with all the other pieces that everybody thinks we need in a left back, in another centre back, in another striker, in another midfielder, in another, whatever it is. So there are probably 7 or 8 another's that people want, and you're still looking at the fact that you've got 3 players out of contract who are pivotal to what you're doing currently. As Brian said, I think we like to overanalyze. It's just there to see. I think Jota was ahead of Nunes as a 9, and if you ask the majority of our fan base to pick what they consider to be the strongest 11, I don't think Nunes would be in the strongest 11. And that's not this indictment on him, or I'm saying he's anything. I'm just saying the majority of fans would say, yes, he's better making an impact off the bench like he did the other day. That's what they think. They're still in the chaos thing and all of the, he does a lot of running and dropping, as opposed to, okay, well, he's someone you can match alongside the Chris Wood, the Isak, and the Cyborg as strikers if you want.
Okay. What? Yeah, did you have a comment you wanted to add to that, JK?
Yeah, bless
Big up,
Pops.
JK,
Hope you're
too.
cool, bro.
Big up, man.
Hope you're cool.
You all right?
Big up, man. I'm all good, bro. Hope you are as well.
Good. Thanks.
Like for me, bro, when we had the roll call show earlier on in the afternoon, I said we got to play with the cards we dealt with, and it's like for me right now, I'm not really thinking about Darwin and Jota, who we're gonna get to replace them and stuff. That's like next season's problems, if you know what I mean. Like for me right now, I'm just looking about how can these two guys get us a goals or assist or do whatever in a game to make sure we win that Premier League title we want and that Champions League title. I think fans sometimes go over the top with it, like they're always ready to replace a player. Let the guy guy do his job first, then replace him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why do we need to put it out there? Like, come on, Endo, for example. I heard he was going to Inter Milan a few months ago. In the January, you know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
And Endo, for me, when he came on today again, just doing the job that we need him to do. And it's true what was it Pop said about his speed. Endo for me is a great little player. If he had a bit more speed, he'd even be a top player, you know.
Mhm.
But he still did a job, and he was meant to be leaving us. Harvey Elliott, another guy who's meant to be leaving us, going to Dortmund. He still did his fair share in the last few games, you know. But as the 9 situation goes, I think Darwin, what he did today as a 9, was what, say, maybe Bobby used to do: run around the pitch, get stuck in, win the ball. Like he was left back position sometimes, Darwin today. I think a lot of people don't really appreciate that side of a game to him. Imagine it was 1-0. He came on the pitch. He didn't do that defensive work, and they took advantage of that. So you got to put a shift in, and Darwin does that. So I got no problem with Darwin, you know. Jota, on the other hand, I just feel him getting injured all the time has been his downfall, you know.
Yeah. I have a quick question that I will bring up from Michael for the panel. We could just do a quick fire on it, but that's to sum up why I was bringing that up was because I get there can be sometimes overanalyzing things and the likes. You know, often conversations can get to that level. It's just sometimes maybe us thinking a little bit maybe outside the box, or maybe just trying to.
Football is a simple game sometimes, and we let it get to ourselves because we have to go online every night. We have to talk every night. We have to come up with ideas every night.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's better when you just take a few steps back and look at the bigger picture. You know, like JK is saying, these guys are here and now. You know, we get bombarded with opinions, so we have to come back with our own opinions. You know, and it forces you into corners. But when you take a step back, like I've been around a long time, and we were doing this shit before we were winning European championships before anybody even knew what YouTube was. You know, this is in our DNA. This is in our blood. We know what to do. You know, sometimes just take one step, 2 steps back, look at it from a season point of view, and go, okay, we didn't do this yesterday. People are all about yesterday and tomorrow, right? Let's just go. You know, next summer, okay? We are where we are right now. Do what we need to do right now. Next summer we can talk about things. Do different stuff.
I'm right there with you. I didn't have a problem not going into the market this January.
No, right now, man, if nobody leaves,
yeah,
that's the thing. 12 man, like people, someone's talking about the homegrown shit. If someone left, we do something.
Right.
If someone comes, like Al Nasser comes in and offers us 80 million for Simicast, you know, something stupid.
Yeah, something stupid. Okay.
So we got
an opportunistic deal, whether it's an inbound or an outbound opportunistic deal, you consider it.
Then you react.
And you act on it. Like but there's no main targets for this team.
Not in January.
That were going to be made in January. And I don't think people.
No, but certainly not on the 1st of February. Not on the 1st of February.
No,
not
right now. Not right now.
Window goes on Monday, so we ain't doing anything then. You bring in a guy, takes a couple of weeks to acclimatize, blah 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 blah. Next thing you know, it's March. You know, so nothing that's gonna. So you keep it tight now. Take a step back, look at it from a slightly different perspective, and let it play out. Not stress over the minor details right now, because this is what we are right now. Our bench is so stacked that we could say, do you know what, Chiesa, you put in a
You
big
can have
chef,
the night
a
off.
big chip, you can, and then you've
You
ready
know what I
come
mean?
back.
You Gomez, you and Gomez go. Yeah, go.
Yeah. Go play PlayStation or something.
Yeah, go play PlayStation or go out for a good pasta meal or something. I don't know, something like that. Like,
We need you during the week. You
Yeah.
know, we need you during the
Yeah.
week. It's not like you ain't
Yeah,
wanted.
stop
You're
them.
not. No, we need you during the week.
right. And this healthy rotation, this healthy mixture of being able to rotate players in and out of the lineup is a positive thing. It's something that we haven't really been able to experience too often this late in the season. So yeah, I just didn't. I think that's why I was just bringing it up primarily, because I just hear all these people saying we need this player, we need that player, or I even hear, I'm not going to mention names, but I even hear some people now all of a sudden going as far as to like, oh, has Elliott missed his opportunity, and is Elliott just not the player that we think he is, and this likes. I'm like, it's been 2 okay games from him, maybe even 2 slightly subpar games for him. I wouldn't think that I don't think any of the games that he's been slated on were games that Elliott
the ones where you got 2 Champions League goals after each other. Okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Come on, man. I said the other day, he's the least of our problems, bro.
I know.
Even Darwin,
funny. I don't get it. I don't get it. I know, again, what Brian says is spot on. We're on it. Especially Pops, ourselves on the channel here. Pops has his own channel. Irishman even has his own channel. JK's has his own channel as well. That's starting to move. Alante, who's chilling right now, he has his channel in the works. And it's like we're on the internet every day. We're engaging with people from all parts of the world with different interpretations, different perceptions of the game. And, we're getting put into corners sometimes. For to like get an answer from us at times as well, but like it's difficult sometimes because some of these players, like, they could be a little bit reactionary sometimes with some of the things that kind of get associated with the players. It's just interesting because I just know that Elliott has joined Scapegoat FC all of a sudden again, and I don't understand how and why. I was just like, wait, this guy was like, everyone was raving about this guy like 3-4 games ago. Everyone was raving about this guy. Now all of a sudden, this guy's like, he's unathletic. He can't play. He can't do this. I'm just like, wow. Not everyone, by the way. I mean, there's some out there. But let me get this question.
I'll just quickly, 12 minutes before you get to that, I'll quickly equate this. It's a well-known. There's been studies done on this. It's a well-known fact. If you work in catering, if you work in culinary schools, it's basically if somebody goes to a restaurant and they have an amazing meal, right? Sorry, if someone goes to a restaurant and they have a bad meal, right? They are 4 times more likely to leave a review on that restaurant than they are if they have an amazing meal. So if someone has a bad meal, if someone has an amazing, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is like that's football YouTubers right there. That's people in football comments right there. The angry, it's 4 times like, if they could go there the best meal of their life, they'd just go home and talk, oh, that was lovely. If you have a bad meal, they're straight on the internet. That was absolutely shocking. It was awful. Pop, pop, clickety clack, how the world about it. But if you had an amazing meal, like, someone asked them, oh, yeah, it was great, that place. Oh, I had a great time. But just people when they have something negative to say, they're just straight out there.
Let me ask you guys this quick question before we go. We're going to wrap up the show here. But before we do, this sounds like a fun question. Michael Corleone LLC is asked, I'll go, again, I don't know if Nolante is back. Let me double check and see if he's back. Okay. My bad. Okay, so Nolante's with us. So I will allow for Nolante to answer this first. We'll go Nolante, JK, Pops, then Brian. And then I'll even weigh in on this question. The question is, combine Klopp's perfect midfield of Fabinho, Hendo, and Ginny. with this midfield of Grav, Mac, and Szoboszlai to make the perfect midfield, who are you picking?
Nice.
Lante, if you are with us, can you give your perfect midfield from those 6 selections? Basically, it's saying that these are the 6 selections on the bench. I don't know why. Why can't there is a player I would prefer to sub in there, but anyway, can we get it? Can we get a little bit of a variable in there? Could we get like maybe a wild card on that one? I'm gonna see if Michael Corleone is with us. Can we have one wild card where we can maybe even have like one player that we can like pick? It's got to be a part of the midfield, obviously. It's got to be one of the who bro. I got you. I'll wait. I'll leave it for my part then. Let's go, Delante. Are you with us?
Yeah. Good evening to the chat. Good evening to all in the chat.
That's right.
Blessings to Pops.
Yeah, so you get these you get these 3 and you get these you get these 6 actually. So it's Fab, Hendo, Ginny, Grav, Mac, Boss. And
apparently 12 man gets a wild card.
Yeah, and I'm getting a wild card. Since I'm the host, I get a wild card apparently.
Well, you asked for it.
I asked for it. He said sure. She said sure, bro. Pick.
I'd just put a spoiler in there for you anyway. So.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna take that. Delete that comment. So go ahead. No spoilers. Go ahead.
All right, so Pop minus your wild card because you wanted the wild card, so I'll stick with the 6 he's mentioned because he specifically mentioned the 6.
I'm gonna go from the 6. I'll go.
Okay, so I'll do Fabinho, Genie, Mac.
So wait, say it one more time. You said
that's
Ginny,
yeah.
Mac,
Fabinho, Genie, Mac.
Ginny, and Mac. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice.
Yeah, it's tasty.
That's a nice midfield. It's a very nice midfield.
Proper 6, proper 8, proper 10.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Should be interesting how they line up. JK.
Mm-hmm. Okay, are we going to use Thiago in that equation?
No, it's only the 6.
I would love to.
Unless
I think Pops is going to maybe bring in Nabi. So I mean, like.
Oh,
nah, that was just for you 12. I figured that your wild card had to be one of 2 of them. That's what I was saying. With the wild card, has to be one of 2 of them, right?
Right.
Okay. If you
there's always going to be Thiago.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know if it was going to be Thiago, you don't know 12 man. So you can only pick from Hendo, Genie, Fabinho, Grav, Mac, and Don.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will go with
from Michael's choice.
Michael's choice. Gravenberch, 1.
Uh-huh.
Henderson, the 2nd. And
You got Don, Mac, or Genie left.
I'm going Mac then. I'm going Mac. Mac, Hendo, Gravenberch.
Okay. Pops, you're up.
This is for our current lineup, right?
I think that's what he's saying. He's saying question combined. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess it would be for our. I think it's just midfield in general.
No, it's just combined 11 or combined 3 from 6.
I'm taking Fab in the 6. And I'm gonna keep Gravenberch and McAllister.
Oh, you bastard! You picked. That's what I was going to pick.
Yeah, I know. I did it on purpose.
That's what I was going to do as well.
I knew you would do that. I knew you'd agree with me. See, I knew it.
Oh.
Sorry, but I knew it. Sorry, but not sorry. Yeah,
no, you're cool. That's what I would have done too. Yeah.
If I could add Fab to the team right now, I think we're killing it. That's it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
No questions, no answers, no nothing.
Agreed, Pops. Agreed.
The
100%.
lighthouse in there at his best. We ain't even having a conversation. It's fun and
Brian
games
Mm.
from now to
Fabinho.
the end of the season.
Some would say
Yeah.
take the loss of Forest off the record, then we'd be unbeaten right now.
I don't know. I don't even want to talk
just
about
saying.
Atlanta. I'm still no. I'm with Mr. Luck, you know. That I'm with him.
Yeah.
We can talk
You're
every
still having
week. We can
therapy
talk about
sessions.
that. Nah, I
I
need
know.
it.
You're
I
still
need
having
to
therapy
go to the
sessions.
couch and have a lie down
Yeah.
and speak to the therapist.
You know,
That's doing my
no, you
I
know,
hear you,
Pops.
Pops. I hear you.
Well,
I
you
hear
know,
you.
like Tony Soprano in The Soprano. You know, that's Arne Slot.
yeah.
It's like those scenes in The Soprano that Arne Slot is still going to go. Yeah, but it was Nottingham Forest. You know,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
remember
yep.
it was like it was
When we
3:17
lift the
p.m.
trophy, he's gonna say it. It's Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
Man, yeah, we still lost that game. God damn it.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
still have that 1,000-yard stare in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Morgan
that's not
Gibbs
to
White.
disrespect Forest either, though. Just to be clear, it's
No,
not
no.
a disrespect
No,
to
no.
Forest, but yeah, it rankles me still. It rankles
Yeah.
me.
No, but I like that midfield as well. Out of all of them, for me, I think we've become a little bit over fixated on Grav as a holding six.
yeah, me
I
too.
think he actually has a future as a box-to-box player.
Those legs need to
And
move
I-
some more for me. He
Yeah, I
needs to
think if
carry
we
that
brought someone in,
Yep.
yeah,
Like
he might
Jimmy.
get moved forward. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's like, ooh, what the hell do you do with Dom? It's like, crazy times. You know, now we've got four in midfield and one has to drop out and one of them is Dom. But hey, look, I don't mind that.
I'm playing
But I
60 a
do
season,
really
lad,
like
so
that.
I need four. I need at least four anyway.
Exactly.
60 a season.
Exactly.
60 a season, you're gonna get minutes. Don't worry about it. And you're gonna win. Winning
Yeah.
makes
I
everything.
like that idea though.
everything.
But Dom and Mac in it too, ahead of a Fabinho. What? Yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah. So, Brian, did you give yours?
What I just said.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pops picked the same I was going to pick.
Same one. Okay.
Yeah, Fabinho with Grav and Mac ahead of him. With huge honourable mentions to Dominic Sabazza, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. No love for Curtis in there. No love for Ox, maybe.
Well, we had no choice. There was only 6.
Yeah.
The rules
Exactly.
were
Yeah.
clear.
If Thiago
Rules
ain't
are
in
clear.
there, I'm playing. If
Exactly.
Thiago was in
Bro.
there, I'm going
Pops
with
trying to
it.
cheat.
The rules were clear at 12. Clear.
Yeah, I got you.
There's
Thank God I
6
was told.
guys right there.
I got you.
I think I know what Toast one is. It's Tiago Napier Knox.
Yeah.
Feel free.
NFT all day, every day.
Yeah.
No, or he goes wide. He goes, well, I think Daniel Sturridge played in midfield once, I'm sure. So.
Yeah. One game he played there.
Played number 10.
Oh man, this is a tough one. But if I was going with the perfect midfield would be Fab in the 6. I'd go Fab, Ginny, and Mac.
You got to my thinking. Well done.
Ginny and Mac. Okay.
I'd go Fab, Ginny, and Mac. Yeah, I think that would be possibly you'd have the engine in Ginny. As much as I think that Dom has the potential to be someone on that kind of level. I just know what we've gotten from Ginny, as opposed to what possibly we can get from Dom. And I think
that's Mac in everybody's team, though, right? I think everybody has Mac. I have Mac.
Yeah, I have
JK
Mac.
has Mac. You have Mac.
Yeah, he did a 10.
Pops
Yeah.
has Mac.
Yeah.
Everybody with Mac. I think that shows you a lot.
Did we all go
Yeah.
Fabinho as well, or no?
Fabinho, that's the one
No.
guy I wanted to put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, JK didn't go Fabinho.
Oh,
Yeah,
JK
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
Fabinho.
Yeah.
I went with Henderson to piss people off.
Oh, okay, okay. So you really wanted Fabinho?
Oh,
Nah, I know what it is. Henderson, I think sometimes with his mouth, the way he shouts and stuff, you lack that in the team sometimes. A voice, you know what I mean? And he was that guy.
Pointy
yeah.
shouty, Pops. Pointy shouty.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh
Do you
boy,
understand? Yeah.
oh boy.
Henderson.
There you
Henderson,
go. I
yeah,
told you they'd
Gerrard.
fucking do it. I told you they'd do it.
Cunha
Wolves
just
2
wrapped it
0.
up. Cunha
I
just
told
wrapped
you
it
they'd
up.
do it. I
Yeah,
told you.
Villa, I
Nah,
said
Wolves
like
battered Villa
Champions
though. They
League
battered
game.
them.
That's
Yeah,
Leicester
they've
back
got
in the
poor records.
relegation zone. That's Leicester back in the relegation zone right now.
Yeah, but it's still close. It's still close to points, so it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the
No,
world.
no, no. But I'm just saying, if you're out there, Ant, you're back in the relegation zone, my friend. He knows
Yeah.
it's all up. He knows it's all up. But yeah, we were looking at Ireland going, how the hell have Leicester lost 8 of their last 9 games and they're not in the relegation zone? That's crazy.
I know. It's
But
all the
now they are.
others.
Now they are. Now the
I think
Wolves
they're.
have won today
I
because they
think
were
they're
a game
cooked.
hand. Now they'll be back in. They'll be back in it. Yeah, they're done. Wolves shouldn't be down there.
No,
Nah, they're a
not
good
with the
little
likes
team,
of
Wolves.
Cunha and Nori and players, Andre,
Gomez.
Trinidad, and Gomez, and players that people would love to buy in the Prem. There's no way they should be down there either.
Well, hang on to them. They'll be okay. Those guys say, right, cool. We didn't get our moves. Let's get the performances on again. Make sure we get our moves
That's
in
it,
the
Brian.
summer.
I
You
think
know?
Stay in
Cunha
the Prem and
was.
they'll be gone next season.
I think Cunha was waiting for a move or something in the last few weeks. You could just tell by his body language. He weren't interested, but today he looked a
Oh,
little bit that.
he based JK apparently. He said,
He fell out with his staff, didn't he?
no, he said he wanted out. Basically,
Yeah?
pretty much.
But didn't they have a row? Didn't they have a row last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, he pretty much said, if there's offers for me, I want to go. And they're like, we're not letting you go. Typical stuff, you know. But then it's all about, do you knuckle down or do you
Let's
kick
see
up
the
the fuss?
reaction
Knuckle
now.
down. Yeah,
And the
knuckle
body
down.
language exposed onto the floor.
Yeah, get your big move in the summer. You know, keep doing what you're doing, and then Real Madrid, these teams will still be looking at you. You know, like Stevie said to Suarez, don't go to Barcelona or don't go to Arsenal. Stay one more season. Keep doing what you're doing, and it'll be Real Madrid and Barcelona to want you, not bloody Arsenal. You know, that's the best thing you can say to a player.
Did anyone pick Henderson? No one picked Henderson.
JK.
JK picked Henderson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah. I almost would have rather had Milner in there, but I got you.
That 12 man having a dig there.
just joking. Yeah. And if I could have used my wild card, I will admit though, I would have probably picked a different mid. I would have probably picked. I was thinking in my head. I was thinking how I could possibly make it work, but I probably would pick Grav, Thiago, and Fab as my midfield.
Grav, Thiago, and Fab.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Be something different. I wanted to see. I was hoping that we were going to see Thiago in this. I was hoping that we would have seen Thiago in that midfield more so. But trying to see. No, I'm not gonna bring that question up. We're running out of time on that one. No Stevie G question is getting put up there on that one about his manager.
Yeah, Barney's still here.
Yeah,
I will answer in text, and I will not speak. What is it Mourinho said? If I speak, I will be in trouble. Is that what he
exactly.
said? Yeah.
Exactly.
If I speak, I will be in trouble.
Well, we are going to bring this episode to a close, but we are definitely privileged and appreciative to have Pops have joined us today. Big up to Pops. Big up. You want to give a shout for anything got coming on to Beijing Reds TV? Anything coming up?
You'll see us on Monday for our review. If you want to check us out on Sarcasm City TV with Flawless on Sunday night for the Beijing edition, that's where we'll be on Sunday night.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
we're in
you gotta-
the chat all the time. So
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the chat. I'm trying
we
to get
always
those
here.
questions.
We're always here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get those questions. I noticed when they had that Southampton win, they had their 12th man, the mouse, come onto the pitch and get them that win. I was trying to figure out what his wages were. Because is he picking up the Rashford wages now? Is that what the difference is? Is that why they had to make the move? The mouse was asking for higher wages and and Rashford had to go. I don't know. It may ask Flawless about that one. Maybe, but big up to big up to Pops, and definitely check him out on Sundays. It's a fun episode to put that they partake with our rival, and also obviously on Monday we're doing a review as well. So big up. JK, do you have anything you want to say to the people before we bounce?
Yeah. I said 2-0 before the game. You got to be positive in these type of games, you know.
Yeah, he's not
I
going to let us
hear too
forget that
many.
one, is he? He's not going to let us
I'm not
forget
gonna say that
is
one,
he?
but I'm proud of that one.
That's
I'm proud of
that's
that one.
mention number 15 now at this stage, I think.
You know what it was as well, though, bro? They tried their hardest to get a goal. Man, they hit the post 2-3 times. They're like, we want to mess up JK's prediction, but I said no. God was with us today. But for me, good game in that way where we just kept on going and we didn't lose the game or draw the game, drop points. So I'm looking forward to the City Arsenal game tomorrow as well. I'll put everyone's link in the chat. But Pops is Ryan's and myself. That's the like for 12 as well.
All right. Irishman, do you want to say any words to end the show?
Do I want to? Should I do a live stream later on or not? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat. All 4 of you. If you want, I'll do something later on. So keep an eye out. JK put the link in the chat there. So yeah, I might do something later on, but if not, yeah, it's just all the usual. Thanks for being here. See you all again. What day is today? Saturday. So yeah, Sunday. See you all tomorrow.
Okay.
See what Arsenal do.
See what Arsenal do. That's what we'll be doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Big game. Big game tomorrow. Big game. What do you got real quick? Who do you have in that game, Pops? I know we've all given our
do the home win for me. City win for me anyway.
Liverpool. Who cares? Who cares?
No rear view mirror for you. I know. I got you. You took it off the
Indeed.
mirror.
I don't need one. I'm a good driver. I don't need to look behind me. The road's clear.
Let me see that license, Pops. Let me see that license, Pops.
Well,
the road's clear, my brother. Not seeing anything in front of me. I'm cruising right now.
Cruising.
Yeah, man.
Got you. Okay. Nalante, any last words you want to say to the people? One. That's right. Top of the league. City. Who knew? More like City who? Maybe right at this moment, because it does not matter. You are only looking forward. You're only looking forward, and that is, and if we're looking forward, we're only going to see ourselves, and that's first place for these Reds. So let us continue to enjoy the moments that we are getting the blessings of having, and let's do our best to enjoy them together. Let's definitely do our best to enjoy them together. So for the panel, for myself, I say big up to everyone that joined us. Big up to you if you're watching this on the replay. Please do leave a comment. And if you would do us the kind notion of hitting that like, that'd be mad appreciative. And other than that, I wish that you guys have a great rest of your evening, morning, afternoon. And as always, and utmost, up the Reds always, up the Reds. Take care, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.